Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the In the Den podcast. I'm your host Craig Denham, and today I'm being joined by Romario Faldes.
What's the weather like in Bournemouth at the moment?
Well, actually, I came back. I came back yesterday evening from Bournemouth.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Only because it said yesterday that the weather today wouldn't be so good, but the weather today is pretty hot. So I wish I was still down there.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I suppose Bournemouth and Watford aren't too far away, so I guess the temperature is pretty much the same.
But I heard that yesterday it was about 30 degrees here, which is mad.
Yeah, it was about 30. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
I can't.
How
I can't.
have you been, mate? How's lockdown treating you?
It's actually been all right, if I'm honest. I've been very productive, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, this podcast ideas are an awesome idea. Like I said to you when you first decided to do it, I mean, it's a wicked idea.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Yeah.
I've been doing the podcast for like the last month. Painting my room. That was fun.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. You still growing your beard as well?
Yeah, it's gonna have to come off at the end of next week.
Oh.
Because like obviously I work at a barbershop, so like to kind of come in with a patchy beard isn't great. So like I've kept it during lockdown, but it's gonna have to come off next week. So.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I was hoping for the full-on lumberjack look from yourself.
No, it doesn't. It's still quite patchy at the moment, so like it's kind of annoying. So I'm hoping that next time it comes through, it's a bit more it's a bit more fuller.
Yeah, well, I'm doing the same
right.
because it says the more times you get rid of it, the more times you shave it, the more times you fix it and all of that, the stronger it comes, the stronger the outcome. So I'm doing the exact same as you.
It's not like 100% like true. I don't think. I think it's like it appears to look thicker, but I don't think it actually is.
Yeah, I mean,
I've been looking in. Yeah,
I mean, I kind of like myself clean shaven, to be honest, on the face. I'm
yeah,
not too fond of a beard, so I
yeah,
just tend to shave it off within a week of seeing it. I'm like, not my thing.
yeah. But could you grow a beard if you wanted to?
Oh God, it would take me a while, but I reckon I could. But like I said, I kind of
Yeah,
like myself clean shaven.
yeah. I mean, it's nice for some people. um, I'm still looking into kind of what I can do to kind of stimulate that hair growth at the moment.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
fair enough. I
yeah,
mean, you must have
because
quite
I really want one.
you must have quite fair hair though, because you're quite like white and obviously ginger. So your hair must be quite
Yeah.
fair, or does it come in quite dark?
No, it depends on where it is. So like I think on my face, it usually starts quite fair, and then like it will as it grows, it usually gets quite darker.
Yeah, that's fair
So
enough.
like the hair on my sideburns is a lot darker than like the hair that's on my
Oh,
cheeks.
okay, yeah,
But that's because my sideburns started growing first, before anything else. So.
yeah, that tends to happen. That tends to happen with a few people.
Mm.
I mean, my hair when I'm out in the
Yeah.
sun, my hair actually goes quite blonde. It actually
Mm.
like goes like quite a brighter color. I think that's to do with my like obviously heritage. My dad's got is quite dark, and my mum's obviously
Yeah.
she's quarter Irish, so she's got that sort of fair
Mm.
skin, fair hair, and all of that. So
Yeah. I mean, I'd say that my family are Italian, but it doesn't really do anything for me because I'm ginger, so like the darkness doesn't really come in either.
yeah,
Or like I'm not, yeah, I'm not particularly hairy either, like most Italians are. So, you know, um,
yeah. So what were
yeah,
you up to before this whole lockdown quarantine situation happened? I mean, it happened. It feels like absolutely. Well, I mean, it was. It was ages ago. It's nearly the end of June, and we started what end of March. It was
yeah,
lockdown. So
yeah. Um, I was in, I actually was like, Christ, I need a holiday just before lockdown. So I was doing a full-time job pretty much 3 days a week, including
oh, nice.
college. So that was the fourth day a week. Um, then I was at RAD on a
Mhm.
Saturday. Uh, then I would be boxing on a Sunday night and a Monday night. and then kind of fitting kind of my errands in between. So really, there wasn't like much time for me to kind of like do stuff for myself. It was just like,
at least obviously it was difficult in that sense. Obviously, you're working, and it suddenly goes all on a halt. But it's quite nice that
yeah,
you were working during that time. You weren't just not doing anything, and then nothing happened, and it's sort of like, oh, what do I do now? It's like,
yeah.
before lockdown, I actually went on a trip to I'm sure you saw on my Snapchats, my Instagram. I went on a trip to France, to Dunkirk. I went to Bruges and I went to Amsterdam with a few of
I
my
didn't see
mates.
that.
Yeah, no, that was fun. I went about a few weeks before lockdown actually happened, which was quite lucky on us. We went by Eurotunnel. First time I've ever been by Eurotunnel anywhere. And
Oh,
we
really?
spent 4 days there, so it was lovely.
Oh, nice. I went to Lille in
Oh, that's
December,
nice.
just before the new year. And well, basically, we try and go away every Christmas or so because like we don't have a lot of family over here.
Yeah, that makes
We have we have like my nan and granddad, and we have my cousins, but then like we see them on Christmas Day, so then that's pretty much just it. So we've seen all our family by Christmas Day rolls around. So like we were like we just like we go away, and it's just a bit better.
it's a nice way to end the year, I guess. In Lille,
Yeah,
I mean, it's lovely.
yeah. But this year I was working, so I was like I think I was working the 27th, yeah, 27th and the 30th. So the 28th and 29th for free. Uh, and I didn't actually tell anyone from work I was actually going away
Oh,
because
okay.
like I thought that'd be a bit, yeah, because like even though I'd done so as an apprentice you're only meant to do 40 hours, and once you've done your 40 hours that week you're
Okay,
fine.
that makes sense.
Um, so I think I'd actually, yeah, so I think I'd actually done my 40 hours that week. But I knew they'd be funny about it because they're like, oh, you should be working on a Saturday, you should be in the shop,
Yeah,
whatever. So I was just like, I was like, do you know what? I'm not going to tell them because it's just going to make it worse. So I just kind of like sneaked off to France over the weekend and didn't tell anyone.
Okay, yeah,
So
no, that's
yeah,
fine. I mean, I'm sure they would be fine with it anyway because obviously it's to do with the new year and the family and all of that. I mean, it's a
yeah,
nice little trip to go out instead because
totally.
a few of my mates as well, like they were working over New Year's and even Christmas Day, and it must have been pretty tough, like on them to work
Yeah,
at that time.
yeah. Like I've never worked on Christmas. I think this year was the first time I've worked over the Christmas period. Um,
Okay,
I've never worked on my birthday actually. Never worked on my birthday. I don't know
have you
about you.
not?
No, never.
Yeah, no, I've worked on my birthday. Yeah. I worked on my
Yeah.
birthday,
I
but I enjoyed it. It's not too bad on me. I mean, my
yeah,
sister's birthday is in July, so theirs comes slap bang end of July, so it comes slap bang in the middle of summer, which is
yeah,
lovely. Mine's 1st of October, so
yeah.
it's sort of like when work starts to build up again. So it's a
Mm,
bit.
yeah. Mine's August, so like again, I've never been at school for a birthday.
I mean that must be nice. That must be nice though. As long as the weather's lovely, that must be lovely for you to have a nice birthday like that.
Uh, it's all right. Mine's usually on a bank holiday, so no one's available to do anything. So
Oh, of course, yeah,
you
because
know,
people are normally away.
yeah, it's like bank holiday weekend.
Oh,
Mm.
okay.
But like, I don't. Yeah, but I don't mind. And then this year is definitely going to be the first time I'm going to be working on my birthday. But I don't know. I think that I'm not really a birthday man, if I'm
Yeah,
honest.
I mean, when it comes to birthdays, I'm not much of a party guy. I like to have my close friends with me, my
Nah,
family, and then I think I'm fine.
I don't like to do anything, if I'm
Yeah.
honest.
I mean, like last year I had my birthday, and the day before, like my family came around, my like distant family from Spain and all of that. They all came round, and
Mm,
we spent the whole day together. And then they were here until it must have just gone past midnight, so that I could be up on midnight on my
yeah,
birthday. And yeah, no, it was a good
yeah,
laugh. It was fun.
yeah. Oh god, hang on. What was I've had some alright birthdays actually. My 18th was okay. It was okay.
Hmm.
It was alright. Um, what did I do? I had like family over and stuff like that, and a couple of friends, but then like it was just like everyone everyone left before like 11 o'clock. It was great.
Oh,
So I was yeah, because it was really funny because we were like, oh, you can stay till like 1 if you want, but then like everyone left before like 11, so it didn't go to plan, but it was all right.
Oh, I mean, at least you had a few people there to sort of celebrate it with you.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, it was all right.
I'm turning 21 this year. I'm 21 in October, so I'm getting old.
God, you're 20. Yeah, we're getting old. It feels
I know.
weird. It feels so weird.
How long have I known you now? I've known you since about 2017, so about 2016.
No, look, yeah, almost 4 years at
Wow,
this
that's
point.
mad. Do you remember how we first met?
I don't. You're one of the people that kind of just waltzed into my life, if that makes sense.
I mean, that sounds like the perfect romance story. I just walked into your life and we
you
hit off
you
straight
did.
away.
But like, you're one of those people that like, I don't remember meeting you. You just like,
I was just
all of a sudden you were my mate. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I remember our love for acting and our football love. Like it sort of coincided with each other, and we
Yeah.
became mates through that. Do you remember when you wore your Arsenal kit to school and I wore my Barca kit when Barca and Arsenal
Yeah,
both got
yes.
knocked out of the Champions League?
Oh, did you get knocked
We got knocked out by Juve 3-0, and you got knocked out by Bayern 10-2.
No, that was the day. No, it was the same day that Arsenal got knocked out by Bayern Munich, but you beat PSG 6-1.
Oh, we beat PSG 6-1. And then we, oh yeah, and
Yeah,
then
because it was in March.
I wore
Yeah.
my Barca kit in, and then literally a couple of weeks later, we lost to Juve in the quarterfinals.
Mhm. I mean, oh my god, I just realised that was the last time that Arsenal won a Champions League match.
Oh,
That's how long ago that was.
that's mad. That was 2017. So that was
That was 2017. Yeah.
That was long. Do you remember our lunchtime manics? We used to walk down to Tesco's specifically just to go and play FIFA on the TVs.
Yes. Oh, I used to go for my meal deal as well.
Yeah.
I used to get a meal deal on a Thursday. It was
Yeah. I used to join you, and then we used to play FIFA on the TVs. We did that for a few days, maybe even a couple of weeks, and then we got told off because me and you always used to do best out of three and used to hog the TV.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, no, we used to hog the TV. We wouldn't let anyone on because we were playing.
Oh yeah.
And then we got told off because of it.
Yeah. I remember. I think. I think I stole some football cards once, and then the police came to the school.
Oh
once.
yeah, I remember that because you took
I got so
you took some
paranoid.
football cards, and then we showed
Mm.
up to school, and the police were there, and you got well
The police were
paranoid.
there. Oh yeah, I did because they weren't there for me. I don't think they were there for something else.
Oh,
but
of course
then,
they
like, I was
weren't.
just
Of
like,
course they weren't there for you. They'd be there for something more serious than taking a few football cards.
Yeah, I know, but like I was a 16-year-old boy. I was very
Mate,
paranoid at the time, and then
Mate, you're exactly like me. I would get exactly the same.
Yeah, but like it, like kind of stressed that the football cards had already been opened. So I was just
of
like,
course.
okay, well, like you can't sell them, so
Yeah.
I think I got a shiny.
Yeah, no,
Buffon or
you
something, or
got
shiny
some
Neymar,
good you got some
something
good players in there as well.
like
Yeah, no, that was cool.
What else did we do? Because like,
I mean, we had our whole
it-
little canteen corner crew. Remember that? We
Yeah,
used to
yeah,
always
yeah.
be in that one corner, and we did that probably for about a year, maybe even 2 years. Like that was mad. And every single lunch, we used to all meet up, chat. I mean, that was fun. I got
Yeah.
some good memories from that.
Yeah, I mean, like, I definitely think it was more the first year rather than second year. I think second year people kind of split up a little bit. I think.
Well, yeah.
you know.
During the second year, we still had the OGs from the canteen corner crew, but then obviously a few
Yeah.
people distanced themselves away because they have work and etc. and stuff like that. But yeah, no,
Yeah.
Both years to me were nice memories. I mean, I never look at the negatives when it comes to that. I always pick out the positives and all the good things that came from that.
Yeah, I definitely think I also look back at Elstree now in more of a positive
Oh,
light,
of course.
rather than like think about because like obviously now I'm working, and like it's a very stressful time. Like it is just much simpler to maybe go back like 2-3 years and just think, no, I was just chilling in the canteen or whatever with you guys, and that was just so much of an easier
Of course.
time.
I mean, I look back at Elstree now, and I feel as though I could have done so much more if I put my mind to it. I could have done so much more in regards to, because this whole lockdown thing has actually made me realise that even though I'm sociable when it came to school and all of that, I mean, I haven't met up with friends as often as I should do, and that's one thing I'm changing. As soon as this is all
Yeah,
over, I'm going to be meeting up with mates. I mean, anything like
yeah,
I know
100%.
that you're all into your boxing. I'm into my training. I mean,
Mm,
we can meet up,
yeah,
and yeah, we could even do our long-awaited sparring session as Jamie
yeah.
really wants us to get to do.
Speaking of Jamie and boxing, I've had a conversation with him over the last 24 hours, 24, 48
Hmm.
hours. Um, so I, so to give a bit of context to everyone listening, um, me and Jamie have been talking for at least three years now,
Yeah, it was
I
about
think.
3 years. We got some good photos as well from that.
Mm. We it was just after the McGregor Mayweather fight, and it was during the build up of the Weller KSI fight, and everyone was like, "I'd beat you in a boxing match," or "No, I'd beat you in a boxing match." So me and Jamie have been back and forth for years about boxing each other, right? And I said to him last November, I said to him like, look, we've been chatting too much, about who's gonna do what, whatever, like who would win, who would not. So like, let's actually just put our minds to it for like 7-8 months, and then let's meet up in July and spar and do it for real. And he was like, yeah, that's fine. And I'll admit there's been a global pandemic, that's fine, but he hasn't trained.
Yeah, I mean, the thing, when was it? It was a couple of months. Obviously, it would have been a couple of months back in probably November
Yeah.
time. I didn't even know this.
Mm.
Remember when we did our training sessions? I invited you to the gym, and me and you trained together, and we did that. We did
Mm.
that probably a couple of times. I did the same with Jamie,
Yeah.
and Jamie said, I offered to pick up Jamie because I was driving there anyway,
Yeah.
and he gave me his address. He literally lives, or he's got a place 5 minutes away from the gym, which I never even knew. I drove to the gym. I drove to the
Really?
gym, and it said your destination is about 2 minutes away. I was like, what? And so I drove down, and I saw Jamie at the front door. I was like, okay, this is really convenient. I mean, I thought I was going to have to drive like to Watford area to pick him up, which obviously I wouldn't have minded.
I thought he lived in like
I
Stanmore.
mean, he obviously has a place in both, but he had a place
Damn.
literally next door to the gym, which is lovely, and it was very convenient.
Mm.
And me and him were training. Obviously, we were chatting about the whole sparring thing, and
Mm.
I was joking about with him saying whoever wins the fight out of you and Jamie, whoever wins the little sparring session has to go against me because obviously I'll be superior out of both of you. Making a little joke to him.
No, you wouldn't. I would
Oh,
beat you.
I don't know. I
100%.
saw
Would
that
beat you.
video of Matt getting you square on the chin. I mean,
Yeah, but like I definitely improved
oh, I'm
since. I
sure. I'm
think,
sure. I mean,
and
I saw a few videos that you sent me a few months back of your
mm,
training, your jump rope and all of that. I mean,
yeah,
your technique's wicked. I mean, I'm not much of a
yeah,
boxer myself, but I've done some training over the past few
yeah,
months, and
yeah.
yeah, no, I think it'd be a good laugh. To
I forgot that you did. I forgot you've been training in for boxing. Actually, yeah, you'd be a much tougher opponent than I
I
thought.
mean, don't get me wrong, Craig. I mean, you've actually been to like a boxing gym where they train you about all the boxing gym. Like my mate
Yeah.
who I played football with him every Sunday. He's about mid
Mm.
20s, early 30s, and he was what's it? It was like he was an Algerian amateur boxer, and he used to fight in Algeria,
Okay.
and
Oh, nice.
and he used to fight in Algeria, like just do amateur stuff like this. And he came here and he started working for me. He's doing like night shifts and all of that. And I used to meet him every
Mm.
single Friday at about 1 p.m. Around this time, and
Hmm.
we used to do an hour
Yeah.
session, and he used to teach me all about techniques and all that. We did that for months, and then obviously
Damn.
the night shifts came a bit too much for him, too hectic. He was a bit tired, and so we put it on a rest for a
Yeah.
bit. We waited a few weeks, and then we came back, and I did it again. I brought a mate of mine there because he was coming to the gym with me anyway, and he did like a quick
Yeah.
half an hour, and me and this guy, it was really funny. He on one of our last sessions that we did together, he was like, "Do you want to do a little spar?" And obviously he
Yeah.
didn't wear headgear because, bearing in mind, he's 6'4" and I'm about 5'7", so
Yeah.
the height wouldn't have mattered. I wouldn't have
Yeah.
been able to get to his head anyway. And I wore headgear, and I was sparring with him. I was getting him in the body. He was like, "Yeah, that's good, that's powerful," and all this. He then swung, and the speed of the swing was mad. I luckily dodged it, because if that got me like square on, I probably would have got rocked by that. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy
Damn.
how fast boxers actually their reflexes are.
Yeah, yeah. The one thing that I've learned from boxing is that my stamina is probably the most important thing, and also how much it lets me down. Because I think for about 20 seconds or so, I'm the best boxer you've ever seen. Well, I'm really good. But then, like, after 20 seconds, I'm gassed out and I can't do any more. So that's what I've been working on in lockdown, especially just like making sure that my cardio is better than what it was.
Yeah.
And I'd say it is.
Oh no, you're quick. You're very fast. So I reckon your agility is there, your
Yeah.
stamina's there, and all of that. It's just about keeping it up, and it's all about consistency at the end of the day.
Yeah. And that's what I'm kind of struggling with at the moment, is like keeping a consistent cardio
I mean,
routine.
have you got any bits at home that you're training with, or is it just like a jump rope and boxing gloves and stuff like that?
I'm actually not trained. I'm actually not really training at the moment. I'm just kind of like taking this chance to really recover,
Okay.
because because it has been a while since I boxed, but like my nose was in very bad shape. My knee was a bit messed up. I just took this time really to kind of just like heal and kind of make sure that I was ready. But then also kind of doing like gentle runs over the last like 4 or 5 months have been really beneficial, because like now I'm in a much stronger position in terms of my cardiovascular system.
No, that's
And
amazing. And when you come back,
yeah,
you'll come back fresh, you'll come back energized, and all of that.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
to me,
I have no idea when. Yeah,
I mean, to me, lockdown was pretty tough to begin with, because as you know, I'm quite passionate when it comes to my health and fitness and my training and all of that.
yeah,
And well, I've been training properly since about 2017, probably a year after we met. And like,
yeah.
I get up every morning at around like 6:30 to train and all that, and we had the gym and everything.
Mm,
And 2 weeks before lockdown happened, it was me and my dad. We were training, and there was no one in the gym. It was literally just us two. It was actually
yeah.
so nice, because
Mm,
we had trained properly without people wanting to get on the machines, vice versa. And
yeah.
well, yeah, it was pretty tough to begin with, but luckily I found in the garage that I had not only a door frame pull up bar, but I also had a pair of dumbbells that my dad had when he was probably my age, maybe slightly older. And I
Oh,
found them in the
nice,
garage,
nice.
and they go up to 20 kilos each. So that's 40 kilos already, which is pretty good. That's all. That's basically all you need.
That's
That's
pretty
all you
decent.
need. And
Yeah,
my mate, luckily had a bench as well, so he gave me his bench because he wasn't really training with it. And he was like, yeah, you can have it. I know how
yeah.
you like your fitness and all of this, so I was really grateful about that. I
Mm,
mean, the only thing I actually bought before this whole lockdown happened was a pull up and dip machine, which I've now sort of
yeah,
created my own little home gym in like this in like our
yeah,
playroom thing, and that's basically all I need. I've got a
yeah.
bench, a pull up and dip machine. I've got dumbbells, I've got some resistance bands, and I've got a jump rope where I do my skipping every morning. I mean, that is all you
Yeah.
need. Obviously, it's not as good as going to the gym and lifting really heavy weights like you normally
Oh
do.
yeah, yeah.
But I'm kind of doing similar to you in my sense. I'm doing more of an active recovery. So I'm training not as hard as I would
Yeah.
in the gym, but I'm training hard, and I'll come
Mm,
back fired up to go again. I mean, it it
yeah.
works out quite well, really, if you think about it, and it puts a lot of things in
Yeah.
perspective. This lockdown.
Yeah. I think it's also kind of made me realize what's important in my life, and like kind of the things in my life that make me
Mm.
happy, and that if I don't have those, or like how important they are to have, then kind of my life will kind of crumble almost. So like I'm definitely after lockdown, which is I think effectively next week
I hope
when we're
so. I
recording
hope
this.
so. Fourth of July it should be, so
Yeah.
Independence Day. It is.
I mean, like, yeah, I think there'll still be a lot of caution
Oh,
going forward on the
of
4th of
course. I
July.
mean,
I think,
when everything reopens, let's say restaurants reopen, gyms reopen, cinemas reopen, I guarantee you there'll probably be about a month, maybe 2 3 weeks, where people will still be a bit skeptical about going out and going to all these places because
mm,
of the dangers of it. And fair enough. I mean,
yeah,
that's how it should be. I mean, when it comes to cinemas, I believe cinemas are meant to open in the next few weeks. People won't be going to cinemas
yeah,
yet. I mean, the next
yeah,
movie that I've got planned to see is the new James Bond, No Time to Die, and that was meant to be released beginning of
yeah,
April. I mean, that feels like absolutely yonks
Yeah.
ago. Like I was well up for that film to come out, and then it was. I
Yeah.
think it was the first movie to be delayed, and it was unheard of at the time.
Yeah.
And now it's being moved
Yeah.
to November. So hopefully by November,
November.
people
Yeah.
will be more chilled, and this whole thing just blows over.
Yeah. I think the main thing that's going to happen is just like the UK borders will close, or like will be massively restricted because I think now we've 90% dealt with what's in here,
Yeah,
and that
yeah.
it's still very tragic that 100 people were dying a day or whatever, but that's much less than what it was a couple months ago. So I think now just the best thing for us going forward is probably to make sure that we minimize the risk that's already here, but also make sure that no new cases can kind of come in. If
Of
that
course,
makes sense.
that's why people are trying to keep safe and all of that. Did you see though on the
Yeah,
news yesterday, Bournemouth Beach, where we were yesterday,
I was going to ask you. Yeah,
absolutely packed. It was rammed with people. Like,
could you see it from where you
yeah,
were?
yeah, we were in the middle of it. We had
Oh
to
Jesus! I
we
don't.
were in the middle of it, and we actually couldn't go out. We number one, we didn't want to go out because of all this thing going on and everything. But we kind of wanted to go
Mm,
out to see what it was like, and it was honestly, I've never
yeah,
seen it so busy in my life.
God, because I know like where you have a place in Bournemouth, it is like very quiet. Because I've seen videos of it, and it does look very quiet. So like to see what was going on yesterday is ridiculous.
Yeah, near where we are, um, Harry Redknapp lives with his son, with Jamie,
Oh
and
yeah, yeah, yeah,
he went on this like news talk show thing a few months back, and he was hyping up the beach and all of this, and I feel as though that's where all the hype has come from, because before then, honestly, you didn't really get many people on the beach. It was quite like a quiet place, like it was like unheard of. You said, I've got a
mm,
place in Bournemouth Beach, and all of this. People go, what is that? Now
yeah,
it's like you have Southend Beach, you have Brighton Beach, and you have Bournemouth Beach. They're the three that people are tending to go to at the
yeah.
moment.
Mm,
I mean, don't get me wrong. It's lovely to see. If this lockdown thing wouldn't have happened, and you still have those people on the beach, it's lovely because you're
yeah,
seeing families enjoying themselves out in the sun. They're there for a day, and it really puts
yeah,
things in perspective. Like it puts a lot in perspective. Like I've got a place in Bournemouth. I've got somewhere to go afterwards. They're spending the day here, and they're
yeah.
making the most of it.
Yeah,
So it is
I
lovely to
still,
see.
yeah, I still think that people are kind of what's it called? I think they're kind of taking their freedom a little bit too far, and I think like because it's not over yet, if
Yeah,
that
no,
makes
it's not
sense.
over yet, and
And like yeah,
people are still well, they're sort of they're not taking it as seriously as it should be. Like even a couple of months into
yeah,
this, like even probably about 2 months into this, people started to ease off a bit, and we were kind of in the middle
yeah,
of it at that time, so it wasn't
mm,
ideal. But you
yeah,
can't tell everyone to stop. I mean, they put the
yeah,
rule out there, and it's on the people's decision
mm,
whether they want to or not.
yeah. And I think when we started, it was quite binary what was being said.
Yeah, yeah,
Like or like very clear, just like stay at home, you know and if you don't, there will be consequences. But now it's kind of like, oh, you can stay home, but like, you can go out as much as you like. You can't go to work, but if you do want to work, you should be encouraged and things like that. And now it kind of feels like, in fairness to people are fed up of it, and like they want to go outside and they want to enjoy the weather. But again, I think people should kind of maybe keep in mind, especially kind of what we saw in Bournemouth yesterday, you firsthand, was maybe people should be a bit more considerate and be a bit more careful when it comes to the rules. So
yeah.
yeah,
That does make sense. I mean, what is your plan for when this whole lockdown period is over? What have you got planned? Because obviously there will be, let's say, a month where people will still be
yeah.
a bit skeptical about doing things. So what's your plan?
So I go back to work next Saturday,
Okay.
and I've spoken to my boss, and he said, long story short, you'll pretty much be there the first week non-stop, because everyone wants a haircut next week. Of course, people do. I want a haircut next week. So
You know,
people
whereabouts is your
will be.
hairdressers?
It's in Harpenden. Mine's in Harpenden.
Okay, because my cousins live in Harpenden. I may have to go down there and get my hair cut because at the moment I'm looking a bit like Tarzan.
No,
I'm looking a bit like Tarzan. So.
no. I mean, what was I going to say? I wouldn't recommend going all the way up, but like it's a very nice barbershop.
I mean, I'm sort of wanting to see my cousins anyway. Like, it's been long overdue. I've not seen them in absolutely ages, and they keep asking me like my cousin's only 11, and then the other two are about, I think it's 7 or 8 and 5, and they're constantly asking about
Yeah.
when am I going up to see them, and they want to see my car and all of that. So I want to drive up to them, say hi, and I feel as though maybe at the same time I might get my hair cut, get my Tarzan look out.
Oh yeah,
And
you got your new car,
yeah,
didn't
I
you?
got that. Oh god, it's been tough. It's been tough trying to drive about when you can't. I mean, I got it.
Yeah.
When was it? Beginning of October. So I got it just after my birthday. I think
Mm.
it was on the 2nd of October. I got it. I've been driving it as much
Yeah.
as I can, and then obviously I had this 4-day trip to Amsterdam and France and Bruges and everywhere.
Oh damn.
And
Oh, did you drive over there?
I wish I did, but I wasn't allowed at the
Ooh.
time because there were too many cars going. There was my
Uh,
dad's car and then a few of my mates' car going.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
so yeah, it was tough. And then obviously we came back here, and then lockdown struck, and it was like, oh, now what? And so I've been
Yeah.
trying to drive my car as much as I can, but I want to drive it much more. So hopefully in the summer, when this whole lockdown thing eases over and I'm heading back down to Bournemouth, I will drive my car there. Well, I
Yeah.
will be driving my car there, and I'll be driving around Bournemouth trying
Yeah.
to get a couple of miles in my car.
Yeah. I was planning on buying a car this month.
Oh, lovely.
Was.
What were you looking at?
So I was looking at the Volkswagen Up exclamation mark.
Okay.
Which is a very it's a very nice car. But also the main thing for me was obviously I haven't passed my test yet. So I was looking at a car that was very much economical, so like wasn't going to cost a load to like fill up, and was very kind of environmentally
Of
friendly.
course. Well, a car I recommend is
Yeah.
the car I had as my first car, Toyota Aygo.
The
They're
Igo,
very
yeah.
environmentally friendly. They're not that economically. They're actually quite well done and everything. And they're
Yeah.
lovely first cars to have. Like they're not big
Yeah.
bulky cars. They're like nice small little cars. That's
Yeah.
all you need for a first car.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking like kind of sort of looking at used cars from the last like 5 years or so.
Okay.
And kind of in that kind of £3,000 to £4,000 range, all in all. So I definitely can look at something like an Igo maybe, and definitely the Volkswagen Up is kind of, it's probably what I'd pick because it is just so economical.
Oh, they're lovely
It is
cars. They're
just,
lovely cars. Another one of
yeah,
my
they're really nice
mates has
cars.
that car. And no, it's a lovely looking car.
Yeah, yeah. So actually on topic of cars, so obviously you have, is it a Mini Cooper S?
Yeah, Mini Cooper Sport. Yeah.
Yeah, and you had a Toyota Aygo. Which one do you prefer?
I prefer my Mini, I have to say, because
Yeah,
my
yeah.
Aygo was lovely car. Don't get me wrong, Chico I called him, and he was a little bit plasticky. Like
Okay, that's fair.
if something hits it, it will dent the whole, let's say, rear door. It got a bit tedious in that sense. Whereas my car now, which I've named Cooper,
I was wondering what you, because I know you told me what it was called, but I've forgotten.
yeah. So I'm trying to keep it, well, like very similar to the car. Like I always thought my first car should be called Chico, and I feel as though Cooper works well with the Mini, hence the name.
Yeah.
And well, this car is solid. It's compact, and it's a bit like a spaceship because it's keyless. I don't need a key to drive it.
Is it keyless?
Yeah.
So you do it on your phone then?
I believe I can because it's done through BMW. So all I have to do is flick a switch and I can drive it.
Oh yeah. Oh, that sounds sick.
Yeah, no. As soon as this is over, I'll drive up to you. You can have a little go in it.
Oh yeah, mate. Oh, I can't even drive. I can't drive. It's my goal before the end of the year to kind of, because especially over the last like year and a half, my family have really encouraged me to start driving, and like for whatever reason, it just hasn't been feasible.
Yeah.
So like now that I'm in a position to kind of begin driving again, it's kind of my main ambition before the end of the year to get in a car of my own. So I mean, definitely come down for the end of the year when I can drive, and I'll have a go in the mini.
No, that'd be wicked, mate. I'll be more than happy
yeah.
to do that. I mean, the thing about cars is, like my sisters they want to learn as soon as lockdown's over as well because they're 18 end of July. So we've got big birthdays this year. We've got my 21st and my sister's 18th. So we may have a joint birthday later on in the year. We don't know, but they want to learn to drive, and I credit them for it because they're very hardworking in that sense, and driving just adds that sense of like independence. Instead of asking someone to drive you somewhere, you can drive there yourself. And if you want to pick up a mate, you can pick up a mate.
I'd agree with you on that because next week when I go to work, we start work at 8:00 on the Saturday. And yeah, very early. And it's in Harpenden, and there's no buses to Harpenden on a Saturday morning. So I've already had to ask my mum and dad to give me a lift up there for work. I agree with you that cars do give you that sense of kind of independence and freedom, which is something that I'd really like before the end of the year. Also, I know it's probably very soon for you to think about because you've just bought Cooper. But I presume you have probably thought about what is next for you in terms of the next car.
Well, my dream car has always been an Aston Martin, but they're a bit pricey, if you know.
Oh yeah.
So at the moment, I'm not thinking of any other cars, but my goal is one day in the future, I hope to buy an Aston Martin. They've always been my favourite cars, and I'm not going to say I'm going to get an Aston Martin in the next 2 years. It may take 10 years, but I would love that to be my aim for a next car. I absolutely love the car that I've got. I've got him for I think it's 3 years, so I'm in no rush. I'm in no rush for another car.
Yeah, I spoke to Luca about the topic of dream cars.
How is he? How is Luca?
Luca is good. Luca's good. He's having a nice time in Essex. We spoke a lot about like school and stuff like that, and like what he's been doing since. So we were obviously speaking about cars, and we were very much kind of quite vocal on the topic of Ferrari.
Ooh.
So
I know Luca. I know Luca is a massive fan of Ferrari ever since we were kids back in primary school. Yeah, because obviously he's Italian himself, and he absolutely loves Ferrari.
Yeah. I think he's more of a Lamborghini man now. That's what he's saying.
Is he?
Anyway, because I remember speaking to him, and he was just like, I think I prefer Lamborghini.
Lamborghinis are lovely cars.
Really? I think they lack that finesse.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Lamborghinis to me are a bit like Bugattis. How they were in the past, they were the car to get, and now it's a bit like you've got the electric BMW, you've got the R8, you've got the Audis, the new Mercedes, the Aston Martins, the new Minis, the new BMWs, and now sort of Lamborghinis. They don't really know where to go. They were a bit ahead of their time, and they came a bit too early.
Yeah, I think that too as well, because now they're just a bit more of a fancy Audi. To be honest. Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the upwards working doors.
Oh yeah, they're sick.
Yeah,
they're sick. I'd have a Lamborghini, but I'd have very. I think I'd only pick between maybe two, probably.
Okay.
There's only like two Lamborghinis that I would have. I'm definitely more of a Ferrari man though. Just the heritage and the history and kind of like, that kind of the vavavoom is kind of, I guess, what I'm trying to say. They got something about them.
Oh no, Ferraris are gorgeous cars, but the thing with Ferraris is it's the same kind of with Aston Martins. You can only, to me, I only see a Ferrari in one color, and that's the red. And to me, an Aston Martin, I only see it in one color, and that's the Skyfall grey. That's the traditional James Bond grey color. They're the only two colors I see in those cars, I feel.
I do think any Ferrari that isn't in red, yellow, or black is sacrilegious. I don't agree with it. I would also say, however, a good blue on a Ferrari is really nice.
Yeah,
A
yeah,
good
yeah,
blue.
yeah.
Um,
I mean, don't get me wrong. You get a lovely car, and you coat it. I'm sure it will look lovely.
Yeah. Oh, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah, Aston Martin. There's a very nice light gold color they do. I forgot what it's called. It's like a very light gold, almost bronze, and it is really lovely. But I do agree with you that the Skyfall grey and the red are kind of the main colors that those cars should have. So I guess I want to speak to you about kind of what you've done since then, because I haven't really. I've seen you, and obviously I've seen that you've been going to the gym and stuff like that. But I don't actually fully understand what you're, or fully know what you're doing at the moment. I guess.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
what you've been doing since leaving school.
Well, I'm currently working at an estate agency, as I've been doing very minorly for the past few years, as you know. I was just doing a little bit of apprenticeship work there. Now I'm properly working at the estate agency. I am still trying to fulfill my my dreams of acting and performing and singing, because I enjoy that as well. But working at the estate agency, I'm handling sales at the moment and negotiations. So it's kind of the way I see it is kind of trying to put my acting skills to use without actually being on film, if that makes sense. And but I have also created a self tape over this course of lockdown, which I've sent off to a couple of agencies, a few casting agencies that I'm trying to get in contact with as well, because and also my sisters, they've recently learned to play the ukulele and piano. So it's quite.
I've seen.
They learnt it within a few weeks. They ordered it off the internet and they've learnt it, and it's amazing. And it's become quite handy because I'm in the midst at the moment of filming a music video of myself covering a medley of a few like older Elton John, George Michael sort of songs, which hopefully by the end of lockdown I should be posting on a few network sites such as like Instagram, YouTube, places like that, just as a bit of like
nice
self-promotion and stuff. Because I do enjoy singing as well as the acting and the estate agency and stuff like that. And obviously the fitness to me is also very important. I like the whole training aspect. So I've done a few videos that I post on Instagram of my training.
Yeah, I've seen. Yeah.
And I'm going to try and perfect them and add a bit of speaking into it, and then maybe even post that on YouTube as well, just to get myself out there, just so people can see what I'm all about.
Yeah, well, that's good. I think what I've learned as well, and kind of what you've said as well, is kind of having your options open and doing as much as you can in kind of very varied careers is very good. You know, I think from what you've said to me just now is that you kind of have so many avenues to go down.
Yeah, I mean, it's a gift and a curse to have so many avenues to go down, because over the past few years, I've been a bit. I don't know where I want to go.
Yeah,
I want to go on the acting route. I want to go on the fitness route. I want to go on the singing, the performing. So I'm not too sure where I want to go down. But obviously I'm still young. I've still got time to decide about all of that. And in the meantime, what better way to do it than to just try everything that I like and see what works best.
Yeah. I mean, like, I think especially when it comes to like performance, like that's difficult because like it is kind of off-putting because obviously the chances of kind of making it as a career is very hard. So I think that's what I've always seen people struggle with, and that's what I've particularly struggled with, is kind of like seeing performance as like a long-term career.
Yeah. I mean, where would you like to sort of see yourself in the future in that sense?
I think my next step will be to go to a drama school.
Okay.
And like, I'm currently working with the Royal Academy of Dramatic Art. I'm currently working on like my audition stuff for next year.
Oh, nice.
So I see myself within the next 2 years of being on a full-time course at an established drama school, and then I would really like to kind of explore. I'd really like to kind of explore what's out there for like an actor. So like, I want to do theatre, television, film, or kind of voiceover stuff would be interesting as well. I definitely see myself going more into theatre though, because I really enjoy theatre.
Yeah, no, theatre is a really nice is a nice avenue to go down. But you know me, Craig. In the future, obviously, I'd like to become like become the new James Bond, become the new Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I see the key to an amazing sort of successful life is to have three things, and that's to have your professional and work life, which is obviously success and
Yeah.
money, etc. You have your own private life, such as a relationship with a partner, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, and then obviously you have your relationship with your family and your friends.
Yeah.
And well, obviously, some people are lucky enough to have all three. Some have two, and
Yeah.
some even have the one. But imagine if you only had the one, and you had the best job ever. You're working in Hollywood. You're earning millions as an actor, but at the cost of
Yeah.
never seeing your family, your friends, and you can't afford to have a relationship due to your work commitments. Would it really be
Yeah.
worth it? So I feel as though
Um.
everyone should aim for the three and realize that it's not the destination, it's more the journey that is
Yeah.
important.
I think for me, kind of the three pillars of kind of what I define as success would be a job that I enjoy, because I think I've worked lots of jobs that I've never really been passionate for,
Mm.
and I'd really want to be doing something that I enjoy, and isn't kind of a struggle to just wake up every day and be like, I've got to go to work now. I want to enjoy my job. The second thing is probably my physical health. I'd really like to take that a lot more seriously, and I've been trying to, but obviously it's been quite hard. And I suppose as well, third would probably be my mental health as well. I think if I had all three of those in kind of good shape, would probably be kind of what I define as success.
Of course. I mean, your mental health is extremely important, but that's where your friends and your family come involved. They help you out with that. They can help you through it. But obviously, ultimately, at the end of the day, they can only help you so far, and then the rest is up to you. It's how you would like to go about your life. It's how you would like to take that. If you are prepared, to change if needs be, then change. But ultimately, I agree
Yeah,
with all the points you just said.
yeah, 100%, man. So yeah, like your career. Obviously, I know you don't know 100% where you want to go, but like, do you have like a plan for where you think the next 5 years might go for you?
Ooh, the next 5 years for me, I think I would like to do similar to you. I feel as though if it's not going down the sort of estate agency route, it would be more going down the sort of performance in either theatre, film, or television. And the way to get there at the
Yeah.
moment is either going through an established performance college, such as what you were just saying, or
Yeah.
or self-promotional stuff. I mean, I'm also very I was also considering doing something to do with fitness, such as becoming an ambassador, like an alphalate
Yeah.
to a famous fitness brand. I've been in contact with a few of them, so I'm awaiting their
Yeah.
responses. And but yeah, I am unsure about where I would like to go. I did a few auditions last year, in places such as
Okay.
the Royal Academy of Musical Theatre, I believe is what it's called.
Okay.
So I did
Yeah.
that because obviously I enjoy my singing, I enjoy my acting, and yeah, I mean, it is fun. It is fun. I do like the audition process. It becomes a bit daunting, but obviously after a while, it becomes
Yeah.
enjoyable. I enjoy it.
Yeah, I'd agree with you
So
on that.
if I could do 10 auditions to a place, and I only have two options at the end of it, then so be it. But it's all about the experience at the end of the
Yeah.
day. It's all about the enjoyment of it. And then it really truly makes
Yeah.
you realise, is this what I want?
Yeah. I think as well for me having an absence from things makes me realize what I want to do. Um so like last year I didn't do any acting at all, you know. And then I auditioned for RADA and then I got in and then obviously like I have been taking classes every week. So like I've now realized that that is really what I want to be doing in my
Yeah.
life. So I do agree with you on that, but also I think I think you really begin to realize what's important to you when you don't do it for a long period
Of
of
course,
time.
and it makes you put loads of things in perspective as well, because you think
Yeah.
about the long run. You think about the whole
Mm.
when you take a break from it, just as you've been doing from RADA and all of that. It really makes you put in perspective what you
Mm.
really are passionate about.
Yeah. Also going back to theatre, I don't know if you've seen over the last couple of days. Theatre's been very much in the news recently because there's very much a lack of funding going
Yep,
in.
I've seen.
Um,
2021 is
yeah, I
apparently
think
when it's meant to reopen.
2021 is kind of. I think Les Mis has been pushed back to 2021, and so is Phantom of the Opera. I know a few theatres are still holding out for the end of
Oh, wow.
2020. So kind of having a Christmas run maybe on like having October, November,
Yeah.
December. Um, but I don't know. I'd like to get your opinion on maybe kind of what you'd expect over the next kind of year or so from the theatres.
Honestly, I feel as though it's really tough on theatres at the moment. If they have to open in 2021, it is honestly tough
Mm,
because if you think about it,
yeah,
if you're in the film industry and you're not in any films and no films are being released this year, you still get a lot of praise through the box office, through any other type of
yeah,
promotion. When it comes to theatre, it's that one performance there and then on that day. And if they're all
yeah,
being pushed back to 2021, what are the theatre performers doing at this moment in time? Like I saw Dear Evan Hansen, I absolutely loved it, but the
yeah,
cast is tiny. There are hardly
yeah,
anyone in the actual production, which is what I kind of like that. I kind of like there being minimal cast, but a solid emotional performance. But with this whole thing
yeah,
going on and not reopening until 2021, I'm honestly trying to figure out what their performers are doing at this moment. I mean, I
yeah.
hope it
I
opens
mean,
end of the year, but I feel that
yeah,
it will be 2021, and it will be tough on these theatre performances, and I'm sure that they will
yeah,
come back with the same sort of eagerness that they had before this even happened. This really puts things for
yeah,
them in perspective as well, because it shows how much you miss it.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've spoken to a few people that have kind of been put on hold from theatres and stuff like that, and they're devastated, obviously,
Mm.
and they're just kind of just waiting, and they don't know if they can resume their production, they don't know if they can come back or they can do um, some sort of online production. I know from what I've heard coming out of RADA is that they're speaking about for us doing a Zoom show in August. And that's definitely going to happen. But obviously, we don't know if we can come back and do a proper show because we were going to be doing one in the theatre in London.
Of course.
So, yeah, so it is quite tough as well. So I think it's going to be very difficult. And I don't know 100% what people are saying because I've heard things going about people like singing and stuff like that being an issue
Yeah.
when it comes to COVID. Um, but yeah, I just hope that the theaters can kind of come back and that there is some emergency funding in place for them because it doesn't look like that at the moment.
No, I really hope that that is the case. I mean, my sisters obviously they want to go into dance, they want to go into theatre, and it's all had to be put
Mm,
on hold because of this. They were applying for for a couple of universities, and that's had to be put on hold. So it's very tough on them.
yeah, yeah,
But I do I
100%.
do I do hope that after all of this, they get the emergency funding necessary to be able
Yeah,
to give them that boost back into it.
yeah. I'd also think that like theatre is such a good way to introduce people into kind of dramatic art.
Oh, definitely.
And I think like
Hugh
yeah,
Jackman, who was the face of the X-Men, who was Wolverine, he started off in theatre doing
mm,
Oklahoma at the age of about
yeah,
25, and he's still doing
yeah,
theatre. Well, he can't do theatre now, but he was doing tours up until this point.
yeah,
And obviously it's very tough on
yeah,
him, but he's got that
mm,
back brace that helps him out in that sense. I mean, theatre
mm,
really opens up your eyes to the performance. Theatre is
yeah,
extremely different. I know that people think that they're the same, but they are so different to performing in front of a camera, because you're performing at that
yeah,
moment in front of an audience. There are no retakes. There's nothing like that. Your
mm,
performance is your performance, and it's what you make of it.
yeah. I think as well, just like to have the consistency as well to do
Oh
that
yeah,
for
to do
how
it day after day after day.
a usual show is probably about 8 shows a week, and about 10 weeks. So you're looking at about 80 performances minimum over the course of
Yeah,
10 weeks, and we've been in lockdown for at least 15 weeks or something like that. It's a long time to be doing that as well. So it definitely is an art to do. Uh, and also, like you were saying, it gives people so much more access to kind of get into that sort of thing, because me and you can't start out doing performances on film and television. We have to kind of look at kind of more reasonable options, and they are kind of theatres.
yeah. Like I said, obviously, I'd love to become the next James Bond, the next Spider-Man, and anything like that. But
Mm,
you can't just, unless you're super 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 lucky, and even then it's tough. You can't just jump
yeah.
into a film and become James Bond. You need to work your
Mm,
way up. And I feel as though Hugh Jackman has done a
mm-hmm.
really good job, as has probably loads of other actors and actresses out there. They've done a really good job in promoting themselves through theatre.
Yeah.
I mean, even some people now who are going into film, such as Daniel Radcliffe. Daniel Radcliffe played Harry Potter in
Yeah.
his younger years. He's now gone into theatre, so he's
Mm,
done it backwards, but it's still amazing.
yeah. Yeah. And like, I don't know if you've been watching the National Theatre live on every Thursday,
Oh, I've seen a
um,
few.
but like I've seen a few. Yeah, I think I saw the first one. I think that was probably about it. um, but like, you just realize how important it is for like to because most theatres can't do an on demand kind of service.
Yeah.
It is so important. It's so important for them to have um kind of that space in London and to kind of have that audience to come in and talk to them. So I really hope that there is some sort of funding for theatres, and I really hope that we can come back before long, because it is more important than people realise, I think.
No, theatre is extremely important, and I hope they do get the emergency funding necessary to be able
Yeah,
to start it all back up again.
yeah, um, yeah. Because I remember just seeing on the news recently, Judi Dench just saying that she might not be able to go back to the theatre in her
I
lifetime,
know, and
and that's
it's
just sad.
sad because she is an A-list, not only actress, but she's an A-list theatre actress as well. And and
Mm,
and to be saying that is heartbreaking to hear.
yeah. Do you want to quickly talk about the gym again? I know we spoke a little bit about it, but like, no, we can speak a little bit
Yeah,
more about it if you
go
like.
for it, mate. Ask away.
Yeah. So actually, I've never asked you this question. Um, why did you get into the gym?
I've been, you know
I've
what,
never actually
I've
asked.
been asking myself the same question since 2017. Honestly, I do
Mm,
not know. Before I went to UTC, I went to two secondary schools prior to that. One of them was a sporty school called Aldenham. I don't know if you've heard of it.
okay,
Uh,
I
one
haven't,
was a
but I think you must have
one
mentioned it in
yeah
conversation before.
one was a school called Aldenham, very sporty. But during that time, my mind wasn't into the whole sporty thing, and it turned more academic. And the other school I went to was a
Okay.
theatre school in Barnet called Susie Earnshaw, and that was a laugh. That was
Hmm.
a really fun school. I made so many friends there who I'm still in contact with now. I mean, it was amazing. It was a small
Yeah.
school. There was 50 people in the whole school, and only 10 in my year. It was. I mean, that's
Oh,
how you
wow.
make friends. And
Yeah.
honestly, I started going to the gym because my dad trains at the same gym as me, and he used to go every morning with his
Yeah.
mates. And he used to wake up early at 6 o'clock, and these were during the times that I was a bit, no, I don't want to wake up, and I used to have lay-ins till about 10. My dad used to say to me, "Oh, come on, train with us lot." And it was early. It was about
Yeah.
6, 7 o'clock in the morning, and I just wasn't bothered at that time. And then I became really
Mm.
into my fitness when I was going on the beach, and I like
Yeah.
the whole look of looking really good on the beach, feeling good within yourself, and everything like that. And then I saw James Bond, I saw Casino Royale, I saw Daniel Craig coming out of the beach, and it was just a
Mm.
turning point for me. And then ever since I went to the gym, I just haven't stopped. I love it. On it, the gym is
Yeah.
part of my life now.
Yeah.
I mean, when people
Actually,
say you can get the ideal body in a month, in 3 months, in 6 months, in a year, yes, that is true. But you're always trying to perfect yourself because the gym isn't just for 3 months, 6 months, a year. The gym is a lifestyle. You can make the gym your lifestyle, and really
yeah.
really try to perfect it each time, because you never reach perfection. You always strive to be
Yeah.
better, without obviously being obsessive, of course.
Yeah, of course. Um, Also, on the topic of you waking up at 6 o'clock, I am really struggling to wake up in the mornings nowadays. What are your tips on kind of waking up early and also kind of getting that full amount of sleep as well? Because that's what I really struggle with, getting a full amount of sleep, but also waking up really early.
Honestly, if I get within 7 to 8 hours of sleep a night, I'm happy. So uh, like, this is quite specific. I'm up at 20 past 6 every morning. It gives me a bit of time to
Mm.
properly wake up before I start training, and and I go to bed around half 10, 11 every night. Obviously, if I'm out
Okay.
with my mates and all of that, I'm not going to be very strict and say, "Oh no, I can't go out with you tonight because I've got my curfew that I need to get back." No, that's not true. I fear,
Yeah.
but I like to get a good amount of sleep, so I wake up energized. And
Yeah.
at first, it was all about setting an alarm. So I used to set an alarm, and I used to wake up at that time. The first few weeks were tough. They were like, "Oh God, I'm up at this time," and everyone's still asleep. And
Yeah.
yes, I'm still doing alarms because I like to wake up at that time. But now I tried it a few times without setting an alarm. It's almost become second nature to me. I wake up at the same time. I wake up at the time that my alarm normally comes off. So now
Yeah.
it's become a bit second nature, and it's become a bit of like a healthy routine. And
Yeah.
my dad's up around the same time, and we go up and we train together, and it's nice.
Yeah. Well, that's actually really helpful because I struggle with sleep quite a
I mean,
bit,
when it when
if
it when
I'm
it comes to
honest.
sleep and all of that, you just have to make sure that, I know it's going to sound strange, but the um the less sleep you have, the more awake you'll be, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
You may feel drowsy
yeah,
throughout the day, but then the more awake you are when it comes to late at night, because you're like, no, no, I can stay up till 2 a.m., I can stay up till 3 a.m., and then you don't wake up till 10, and then you feel horrible because you've wasted half the day sleeping.
yeah. I definitely feel like that sometimes.
Yeah,
I think I woke up today at maybe like
yeah.
11,
I
but
mean, I mean,
you
I
know,
I I
I
haven't done that in a while. I think the last time I did that was when we did the school trip to New York. I think that was the last time,
oh
because
yeah,
obviously I
yeah,
was
yeah,
I was proper jet lagged then, and I slept for about
yeah.
12 hours. I mean, it wasn't good, but yeah, you live, and
Yeah, yeah. Um. Also, another question, fitness
yep.
related. Um. Do you drink
I don't.
alcohol?
I don't drink alcohol. I don't. I like to keep my nutrition balanced, healthy. I don't drink anything besides water, and And yeah, I don't eat anything unhealthy.
Yeah. Have you ever drunk
I have,
alcohol?
yes.
Yeah. And like, how often would you say that you drink alcohol? How many times a year?
Oh no, very rarely. I used to do it. I used to do it socially with my mates. I used to go around their house, and we used to do like it was like, what was it, the day before my birthday? All of that, a few years back,
Yeah.
day before my birthday, we thought we'd have a bit of a party. So we played a bit of poker and all of that around his. And yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, that was probably the last time I ever drank alcohol, really. And that was
Wow.
about 3-4 years ago.
Oh, you put me to shame because I thought I was gassed for doing it 150 days.
Honestly, it's an achievement. You should be proud of yourself.
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah.
because,
I'm definitely gonna
because
have to cut
no,
back
because
again.
I'm not going to sit here and call you an alcoholic, because you're not. I mean, people have to enjoy
Yeah.
their lives, and if that's one way of enjoying your
Yeah.
life, as long as you're not obsessive with it, because obsession isn't good. But as long as you're not obsessive with it and you're enjoying your life and you're having fun, then that shouldn't hold you back. But then you need to know the
Yeah.
barrier where, okay, it's a bit too much now. It's taking over your life a
Yeah.
bit. I mean, you doing the 150 days. It doesn't it put you doesn't it give you a bit of perspective as to how you feel?
Yeah, because I realized at some points last year when I was drinking pretty excessively, um, that I was drinking for the wrong reasons. And what I mean by excessively isn't like I was getting drunk every day, but like, I was just drinking too much, too
You did it
often.
like a
You
sort of
know?
comfort thing.
Yeah, 100%. I wasn't drinking to get drunk. I was drinking just to stop feeling kind of as shit as I was
And
feeling.
of
You
course
know?
that's reasonable, because people have that.
Yeah. But then I realized that it was kind of my automatic response to when things got really terrible in my life was that I need a drink, and like at 19, that's not a good thing to be doing, you know. So I decided to cut it out, and for 25 days in December, I didn't drink. And then for 150 days between kind of the new year this year and beginning of June, I just didn't touch a drop. So yeah, like that was been really kind of opened my eyes to kind of my alcohol consumption, and also kind of made me realize that it isn't everything, and I don't have to rely on it to kind of make me feel better
I
about
mean, honestly,
myself.
you
And
need to be proud of yourself for that, because it's an
yeah,
amazing
yeah,
achievement. You can't say, oh, I've done 150 days. You can't say, I've done 150 days. It's not that long. It's not long enough. People do it for
yeah,
years. I mean, yeah, you look at examples. You look at examples of people that don't drink, but then you should never compare
mm,
yourself to someone else. You compare yourself to yourself, and you always
yeah,
try to better yourself. If you do 150 days between beginning of New Year and June, try 200 days later on down the line, and try to always better yourself. You don't
yeah,
ever need
hundred
to
percent.
compare yourself to anyone else apart from yourself, because you're only ever against yourself.
Yeah, that's actually really good advice. um, okay. Also on the topic of the
Yep,
gym, um, I'm going to be quite selfish here and just talk about kind of myself.
go for it, mate.
So I've really struggled to get into a good routine, and like I've really struggled to kind of begin working out and stuff like that. So like, what are your recommendations for anyone who's wanting to kind of get into the gym properly, kind of make it a lifestyle, as you've already said?
Well, to make it a lifestyle, you have to, number one, you have to be dedicated, and you have to be determined to try it. You can't say, I'm going to make it a lifestyle, do it for a few days, and then go, no, I'm bored, and that's it. You have to make it you have to
Yeah,
make it a lifestyle without obviously becoming an obsession in your life.
yeah,
When it comes to routines and stuff like that, you have to make sure that your nutrition is on point. You have to make sure that your
yeah,
hydration is on point, because being dehydrated, you can't
mm,
perform. And you also have to make
yeah,
sure that your whole training routine is on point. If you're going to the gym and you're doing bicep curls, and then you go the next day and you're doing bicep curls, and you go the next day and you're doing bicep curls all week, the effects will not be it will not be as effective as if you have a proper routine going on. So the routine I have at the moment during lockdown is I train a muscle group. I train 2 muscle groups twice a week. So it's kind of like I train. So this morning, I trained shoulders, and let's say I train shoulders Monday, and I will train shoulders on Thursday. And then on Tuesday, I will do back and legs. And on Friday, I'll do back and legs, which leaves Wednesday to do chest and arms. And then you have to make sure that you allow yourself proper recovery, whether that be through your nutrition, because if you do not, I struggled with this for a long time. Obviously, I'm still slowly struggling with it, but I'm slowly getting to grips with it as well. I always thought that putting on muscle, you have to consume a lot of protein all day long and nothing else. And that really didn't help at all, because protein is the less calorie dense food, and it also makes you the most full, if that makes sense. If you eat a lot of chicken in a day, how much chicken can you eat? Can you eat 2,000 calories of chicken? No. But you can have it of other things. Like I've started to include avocados and nuts and oats into my nutrition now. And I like to think that I'm seeing much better results now in my performance, in the way I look. And at the end of the day, it's all about consistency, because consistency is key when you start at the gym. If you're consistent with it, and you're consistent with your nutrition and your sleep and your healthy habits in that sense, then it should work out really well. And but if you do need help with the sort of training routines and all that, I'll be more than happy to send you across like a link or anything. Like I followed a few YouTubers when I first started, and then my dad sort of taught me the ropes on routines and stuff like this in training. And now I'm teaching a few people routines. So if you need help with that, I'll be more than happy to send you across anything that you need help with.
Yes, mate. I'll be down for that. I think I've got one final question for you.
Awesome.
When you train for the gym, are you training for your aesthetics in kind of the way you look, or are you training for a specific purpose? Is there something else that you're training for?
Well, like I said, going to the gym and training is not for 3 months, it's not for 6 months, it's not for a year. It's a lifestyle. So to me, it's a lifestyle. I like to feel good. Feeling good mentally is, like you said about mental health and everything. Feeling good mentally is the most important thing. And then obviously feeling good physically is nice. And then that goes into the aesthetics. So going onto the beach and looking good, your confidence will go up. When people say you look good, your confidence will go up, your mental side will go up, and everything like that. At the moment, I'm not preparing for anything apart from the summer. I like to always look good on the beach and everything like that. But then I also like to look good all year round. And that's got to do with just consistency and obviously always trying to perfect what you've got. I was thinking a few months back about doing some sort of fitness related YouTube videos and Instagrams, and that's how come I started my whole lockdown fitness thing. But I've never thought about the whole bodybuilding type thing, because I don't think that's really me. I don't think I'm into the bodybuilding world. I'm more into like the whole health, fitness, physique sort of thing.
Well, actually, I think that's a really good place to end it.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't know. I mean, this whole podcasting that you're doing at the moment, wow, the time's flown by. That's gone really quick.
Yeah, I know. It's gone really quick.
This whole podcast thing must be amazing for you, because it lets people express themselves. It will let you express yourself to your close friends, and this whole podcast thing, like you've seen on True Geordie, like you've seen on Joe Weller, who's doing the podcast. Logan Paul, they're all doing podcasts. They're speaking about their lives, and I find it amazing. I watch their podcasts, and I really find it amazing.
Yeah.
because they express themselves in a way that they feel comfortable. They don't need to do it in front of
Yeah.
cameras. All they have to do is speak, and they express themselves through that, and it's nice.
Yeah, it's definitely given me a lot of creativity over the last kind of month or so that I've been doing this, and it actually feels kind of weird that it's coming to an end pretty quickly. I've only got like 2 more to do now.
Yeah,
I
I
think.
mean, you
So
can always make it into a series. You can always do 10 episodes here, and I'm sure people will like it. You'll get viewers on it. And you
yeah,
never know, you'll get
yeah,
asked, "Oh, we like this person. Can we have this person back? Oh, can you do this? Can you
yeah,
do this?" And maybe one day in the future it was, "Oh, can we see your face? Can you show your face on screen and all of that?" And you build it
yeah,
up like that, and you
yeah.
build it up like that.
Well, I'm hoping that this isn't it, and that 10 episodes is kind of not the end.
What
I'm definitely thinking
actually
about maybe
a
doing.
question I've got for you. Sorry to interrupt. A question I've got for
No,
you
go for it, man.
is, what made you want to start this podcast?
It's been something that's been on my mind for the last 2 years.
Okay.
And I've never had the time, nor have I had the money really to kind of get it going. Because obviously, like, I wanted to be a good product, so like kind of investing in a microphone and things like that has always kind of been my priority.
Yeah.
So I've always been like, I'd love to do a podcast. I just don't have the time, you know. But then, like, I realized that during this time, I did have the time. You know, I've got nowhere to be. You know, everyone's at home. And I was just like, do you know what? If I put my mind to it for the last, like, for a month and a half, I can get 10 episodes done. And, you know, it's showing that, like, I've got a week left to go until I go back to work, and I probably can get everything done during the next week or so. So, actually, it's actually been a really fun experience to do. I'd also say it's been very good to I guess it's been good to kind of just, yeah, like you said, express myself creatively, because like I'm not acting anymore. I'm kind of just stuck at home doing nothing. It is weird now to kind of like be showing it to people, because like obviously people have only known about it for about 2 weeks or so, less than 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So like for people to kind of know about it and people to kind of like share their opinions on it is really interesting, and kind of like it's still quite a fairly secret project that only a handful of people know. But like, you know, in about a week's time, everyone's gonna know about it. It's gonna be really weird. So yeah, I'm nervous, but I'm looking forward to what people are gonna say.
I mean, look. You've put your mind at work during these podcasts, and like you said, you have 2 left. How many are you doing? You're doing 10.
10.
So
Yeah.
you have 2 left. You have 2 left, and if you were asking me earlier about the gym and how to stay consistent with it, if you can stay consistent with this podcast, you can stay consistent with the gym. This shows it.
Yeah, 100%. I would like to do more, but obviously, like when I go back to work next week, it's just not feasible to do.
Of course,
You know,
that's
loads of
completely
episodes or
understandable.
one a week. But I'm hoping I'm not promising anything here either. I'm just hoping that at some point next year there's the opportunity to maybe do another series or a new podcast that has a bit more of a theme to it. I think
That'd be wicked.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's a good place to end it.
Yeah, I mean, I just like to say, Craig, it's been an honor to join you on this podcast, and thank you for inviting me.
Mate, thank you so much for joining me. It's been an absolute pleasure.
I wouldn't miss it, mate.
If there is anything you'd like to kind of shout out or promote, now is your time. This is your space. If you've got anything to kind of
Now is my time. Like I said during the podcast, I'll be releasing a few more fitness videos, a few more singing videos alongside my sisters, and that'll be going out on YouTube and Instagram. Quite an easy name, Romario Faldes. All you need to type up, and I'm sure it will come up. And that's about it, Craig.
Yeah, Romario's Instagram will be in the description of this podcast as well. If you want to go follow him, that'd be really appreciated. So yeah, thank you all very much for listening to this episode of the In the Den podcast, and I will see you all next week. Bye bye.